Downtown Denver, Colorado on a Tuesday night, a cool Tuesday night. I'll tell you what, Labor Day weekend comes in, it's summer-like, and all of a sudden, fall has arrived. Temperatures in the upper 60s for first pitch tonight. Giants and Rockies. Rockies 8-0 at home this year against San Francisco as Tyler Chatwood makes his way to the mound. They've won 9 consecutive ball games at 20th and Blake against San Francisco. And this will be the 21st start this year for Chatwood. You see his record. This is how you know he has good stuff, Huey. In 122 plus innings, he's given up only 111 hits, pitching half the time here.
And this is a good team, too, for him to be able to pitch against, because you go back to earlier this year on the 18th against San Francisco when he had 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, gave up a couple runs, and that's it. Ended up getting a no decision. The Rockies won that ball game. But Tyler Chatwood, the last time he has lost to San Francisco, you have to go back to April 12th of 2016. 6th start since then. He's 4-0 with a whip of 0.93. His fastball usage was up when he was coming out of the bullpen because he didn't have to worry about, oh, I've got to mix in and I've got to set up hitters for their second and third time. So you would see some velocity at 98, even 99 a couple times for Tyler out of the bullpen.
And I think he's got to look at it as that type of outing because he hasn't made a start, as we were talking about, in a month. And he's not going to go out and throw 85 to 100 pitches. If things go well, you know, what, 60 to 75 pitches?
I would say, yeah. That would be the hope.
Yeah, so let it eat, man.
Yeah, just let it eat. See if you can get some easy early ground balls. Because he was getting a 68% ground ball ratio when he was coming out of the bullpen.
And he misses 2-0. It is 67 degrees, or about 25 degrees warmer or cooler. That would be cooler, wouldn't it be? Cooler than yesterday. 92 degrees at first pitch yesterday. 2-0 on Span, and that's in there. Well, the Giants probably felt like a two-man team, at least offensively, yesterday. Denard Span and his buddy who's on deck, Joe Panik, they were 6 for 8, including a home run for each of them. The rest of the club was 1 for 25. And a good start for Chatty.
Not an easy hop.
No. He had to move to his right, and he got a tweener hop. But as you've always said, Huey, if you have soft hands like you did, you handle it no problem.
Well, like DJ, too.
Yeah, well, DJ is amazing. Here's Southwest batting order for Bruce Bochy tonight. Posey is 5th in the league in hitting at .317. Then Brandon Crawford, Hunter Pence, Pablo Sandoval's really struggling. Ryder Jones is getting the start at first base with Buster doing the catching. Yesterday, it was Nick Hundley behind the plate. Gorkys Hernandez in left field. And the first pitch strike to Joe Panik. So Panik also 3 for 4 yesterday.
Well, Buster had the only other hit. Batters 4 through 9 were 0 for 21 yesterday for San Francisco.
Fastball at 95. A little bit up, a little bit away. Andy Fletcher. He'll be in charge of balls and strikes tonight. Alan Porter at first, Chris Siegel at second, Joe West is at third. And just again off the corner, 2 balls and a strike.
And kind of to your point, Drew, this is all we've seen so far in the first 7 pitches is fastballs. That's okay. He seemed to find that release point when he was coming out of the bullpen with that fastball.
3-1. It's a fastball that dashes and darts, and quite honestly, he's not always sure what it's going to do. That ball's lined to center field, and Panik with a hard turn. He's racing for second. Here's the throw. It is not quite in time. So a 1-out double by Joe Panik. He's been outstanding on the road, in particular for the Giants of late.
Yeah, hitting close to 320 out on the road after the 3-hit performance yesterday. 3-1 count on the Subaru Supermo, up and elevated just enough for Joe Panik to pull that one into right center field. Charlie had to get all the way over there. Panik running pretty hard as he's going around first base, and then the slide in front of the tag of Trevor.
So that'll bring up Buster Posey. Posey takes down low, ball 1. Posey in his career just 4 for 23 against Chatty, 174 average. And of pitchers he's faced more than 20 times, that's a base hit. Desmond had to field it on a short hop. Run does not score. Panic had to wait. I was going to say, if pitchers he's faced more than 20 times, Chatty has done the best of anybody against him, and as those words were tumbling out of my mouth, he gets squared up there. First and third, 1 out for Brandon Crawford.
That's a pretty fortunate play out in left field from Ian with that sink on that line drive to keep it in front of you mainly, but also just having to go right into your glove to keep it at a first and third.
You really aren't just Huey almost in no man's land.
You are, and that's why I'm saying he's pretty fortunate, because do I dive, do I not, do I lay back, be aggressive?
And if you lay back, it could eat you up.
That's right, and then it goes by to the wall. So Ian sliding over and stopping it.
It's Crawford. Chatwood's always just a pitch away from getting out of an inning with his ability to induce ground balls. Crawford with 8 sac flies this year, leading the National League.
Rockies have turned 150 double plays on the year.
This is pulled down the right field line, foul.
First off-speed pitch of the first 13 pitches for Tyler.
Parr is in right, as you clearly can see. Hunter Pence on deck. Panic at third, Posey at first against Chatwood. 1 out. 2-1. Last 17, Crawford's hitting .373. Rockies did a good job with him yesterday. Chad Bettis and company was 0 for 4. Now it's 3-1.
That second pitch on the Subaru strike zone, and that was that off-speed pitch that Brandon Crawford hooked foul.
Double play ball. This should be easy. There's 1 and there's 2. That's what Chatwood will do. He can get you out of traffic. And no harm done despite the double and the single by Posey. No score. We go to the bottom of the first.
Giants, as Ty Block takes them out in the bottom of the first inning for the San Francisco Giants. Let's flash back to a year ago today when the Denver native reaches high product made his major league debut against the Rockies. 3 1/3, gave up 1 hit. His mom and dad, Randy and Karen, in attendance. And now this year for Ty, this will be his 24th start on the year. 31st appearance. He's 8-11. Those 8 wins are 4th most among National League rookies in wins. Of course, Kyle Freeland, Antonio, Herman both have 11 and 10 respectively, and then Ty coming in with 8.
So his first pitch of the night is on the outside corner, and see Block's record. He has struggled of late. Last 4 ball games, he's 0-4 with the 7.77 ERA. Charlie's quickly behind 0-2. He's had Charlie's number. Charlie's 0 for 9. I was talking to him in the clubhouse today, and he said he's just got enough of a little hitch in his delivery that he's sometimes hard to time.
Yeah, and doesn't quite pick it up. You know who he reminds me a little bit of on the Rocky today? Chris Russell. Just the way they can manipulate the baseball. A little short armor.
Yep, they're definitely pitchers, not throwers. So he gets Charlie on a ground ball to Ryder Jones. Here's the Southwest batting order tonight for the Rockies. LeMahieu to follow, then Nolan. Mark Reynolds will bat cleanup tonight. Gerardo Parra 5th. And then some more righties. Story, Desmond Lucroy, and Chatwood for Buddy Black. I see Buddy in a warm-up jacket since April.
Maybe Mark had to give the one he was wearing back to Buddy then, because Mark was wearing on the pregame set again today.
That has some sat to it, doesn't it?
And I think Buddy's is more of the conventional style.
That's something you guys wore back in the day.
Didn't we though? We're sporting that Saturn look. Nice and shiny.
That's what that was. DJ is 6th in the league in hitting at .315, right behind Buster Posey, the league leader. It's a guy who just grounded out to first. Charlie's at .342, 10 points above Justin Turner. The Rockies will see Thursday through Sunday. Part of the game plan's got to be with Block. Make him throw his curveball for strikes, because a lot of times it's a chase pitch and he doesn't really throw it for strikes.
He doesn't want to.
Right. So you try to make a guy like this, a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, changeup, as opposed to
a 3 or 4 pitch, right, where he would even mix in a little bit of a baby slider.
3-1 on LeMahieu. Down low. So a 1-out walk for DJ.
That's something that Ty does not do very much, is walk guys. Only 36 walks in 150 in a 3rd inning. This is 6th lowest walk per 9 innings in the National League.
So here's Nolan, a notorious Giant killer. 21 career home runs against the Giants. He's fixing to get hot. He's just 6 for his last 36 at the plate.
Also hitting .407 against left-handers. That leads the National League.
One ball, 1 strike. Nolan 5 for 8. He's driven in 3 against Ty Block. That's pretty cool. He made his major league debut in his hometown. And
a year ago today.
And it's exactly 1 year later, and he's got something like 200 folks here watching him. That ball's lined to center field. DJ moves up 90 feet. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. Here comes Mark Reynolds.
Almost on cue. Nolan again with a hit against the left-handed pitcher. He squared this up. We can watch as he throws this curveball and kind of hangs it on the Subaru Supermo. But as it's going out to center field, it's knuckling. And whenever a ball knuckles to the outfielders, that's when you just square it up just perfectly.
Chance for early damage. Reynolds. He Tips that one foul, out of play. Mark's 1 for 6 against Block. Sitting on 28 home runs. 9 here in the second half. Two balls and a strike.
I think you can already see the difference between Tyler and Ty Block and the way they approach a hitter. You know, Ty will use the fastball to set up a lot of the other pitches, where Tyler uses mainly his fastball. I mean, Ty wants to try to get you out with the off-speed pitches.
Chadwood looking on, hoping for some early run support. Rockies had 9 hits last night, and winning 4-3. Outfield deep, particularly Hunter Pence in right. Wow.
He's out by his Billy scoreboard over there.
Billy's still heckling him. 3-2.
Good eye. Even with DJ at second, I would not put him in motion with Mark in a full count.
Ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. DJ started to walk back to second, but it was called the ball. It was
ball
close.
4.
And now they're loaded up for Gerardo Parra. And I like this matchup. Gerardo's having a great year left on left, and he's been so good situationally this year.
Well, because he thinks, and especially against a left-hander, he's thinking about up the middle or the other way. Ty's not afraid to use his changeup to the left-handed batter.
But he thinks that way from the outset of the at-bat,
which is key. Which is key, because if you think, well, I'm going to just go up there and try to, you know, hit one into the stands on the right field pull side, that's when you'll just screw yourself into the ground.
That's a strike.
Gerardo, a .337 career average with the bases loaded, and 83 at bats. He has 68 ribbies.
One out, bases jammed in the bottom of the first. And this ball slicing to left center field. Span will get there. DJ tags, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Nolan will move up as well.
What were we just talking about? His approach. Where's it going to be? Up the middle the other way. And he knew exactly what he needed to do to get that run in.
What we were talking about from the outset. He wasn't going to say, well, the first 2 are mine.
No, and he's the whole time he's thinking that way. Right back up the middle, get the ball elevated. I know I just have to get it deep enough. Another good sign. The Rockies are 56-22 when scoring first.
Now here's Story. He's been very good against lefties this year. He takes a healthy hack. Good numbers against Ty Block, as we expressed a few moments ago. 3 for 6. He has a home run against Block. .304 average against lefties. And this ball is hit to left field, should be playable for Hernandez, and it is on the edge of the track. So the Rockies load them up. They do get a run, and we'll go to the second. 1-0 Colorado.
second inning. Today is a Tuesday, and that means it's a Toyota takeover. Tonight, our special guest is Chad Bettis. He will answer most of the questions that were sent in earlier today. Your favorite thing about being a father from fatherhood. Chad says, when my daughter smiles at me. Love it. I think every dad, every father, that's their favorite thing is when their little baby girl looks up and gives them the old pearly whites. Guys?
Yeah, that's special.
And then you're hooked for life.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Hunter Pence, and he takes inside twice. 2-0 from Chadwood. Pence hitless so far in the series. In fact, over his last 8 at-bats. Last 14 games, just 9 for 45 for Pence.
Boy, all 3 of those pitches were in the same spot. Way up and in.
He's always had a semi-violent delivery, and he gets quick to the plate. When the arm drags, the ball's going to tail up and in, and a 4-pitch walk to Pence.
Well, last night, obviously, there's some recourse for heckling Hunter Pence in right field scoreboard. And so today I had to make sure that Hunter and I were okay, that we're cool. MLB.com was running something on Cut 4, kind of highlighting the whole, saying that Hunter Pence eats pizza with a fork. Guess what? He's totally okay. So later on today, if we get a chance after this Toyota takeover, I might go back into that scoreboard and come up with your good ones. Send it to us.
You need a bullhorn. That's what we need to give you.
Well, he couldn't hear you, right?
No, he said he heard it.
Oh, okay.
He said inside he was smiling, but the outside he was kind of grimacing because he thought it could have been more clever. So.
All right, we got to come up with better stuff. Okay.
So we got to come up with a little bit better material.
Yeah, we feel challenged. This is going to be a double play. Sandoval to DJ on the first, and the Rockies have turned another double play. That's 152 on the season.
And it's first in the National League. First in all of baseball as well. Watch Tyler Chatwood, though. Watch as his ball goes over his head. He thinks about reaching for it. No, I better not. That's a good idea. Leave it to Trevor and DJ to make this turn. It's a pretty easy turn when you got Pablo Sandoval running down the line, and he is now 0 for his last 34.
And I'll tell you how rough a run that has been for Kung Fu Panda. There's only one guy who currently has a longer hitless streak. David Price of the Red Sox, 0 for 37. Last time I checked, he's not paid to hit.
And Bartolo Colon, 32. He's even.
Bart's last hit was a bomb he hit in San Diego. Right?
Yeah.
Probably pretty close. It's been a rough ride for Pablo. 2-0 on Ryder Jones. Got in the ball game late defensively last night at first base. Played first, third, a little outfield, and a ground ball through the right side, a base hit. There's certain names where you ought to be an athlete. You ought to be doing something where fools like us are saying your name, right?
Yeah.
Ryder Jones. Right? He's an athlete.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's not going to be your pharmacist. He's not going to be your, I guess he could be Dr. Jones, but he's got to be an athlete. Ryder Jones. Right. Gorkys Hernandez. It's a good name, too. Gorky's in left field tonight. Swung on and missed on a mid-90s fastball. He's been scuffling also, 1 for his last 16. When you throw a game like this, where you figure you're going to be into your bullpen reasonably early, just because Chatty's not as stretched out as he was a month ago when he was a full-time starter. It's nice that it's September because you have a multitude of options.
Rockies have 11 guys out in their bullpen. They've got a couple guys that are long guys. You got their situational guys.
Did you see what your old club did last night, the Angels?
Yes.
They set an American League record. They used 12 in winning a ball game.
And that was like a 7-hour and 72-minute game or something like that. Just ridiculous.
That's 3-1.
And yes, I realize I said 72 minutes. That would actually take it to 8 hours. I said it tongue in cheek.
I know you did. That's why I didn't call you out. If Spilly were up here, I would have called him out, though, because I wouldn't have been sure. 3-1. In the air to center field. Charlie's got it, and that's the end of the inning. Middle of 2, the Rockies have a 1-0 lead on the Giants. Colorado Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the 2017 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores and by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Gerardo Parra and Charlie Blackmon.
I know Ryan Morrison had him mic'd up for the club, something that'll come up this weekend. So
had Gerardo
mic'd up.
That will be priceless. Desmond Lucroy and Chatwood in the second against Ty Block. Changeup fades off the plate. Ball and a strike on Desmond. Did a nice job at short yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Had those 3 plays in a row. A couple real easy ones, and then the one he had arranged to his left.
I said that to him earlier. So it's nice to get that room service too hot. He smiled and said, yeah, you bet. But he was comfortable. He honestly, even though it's been, you know, almost 2 full years. Down the line, that's a fair ball. That's a nice play by Panda.
Great play by Panda.
He can still do that. And if you think back to when he was, you know, with the Giants before going to Boston, and I mean this with respect. I mean, he's one of those guys who's he's a bad body, good athlete.
Fun-loving guy, and he made that play look pretty easy. Watch how quickly he gets up after making this in the spin. I mean, that is a very athletic play.
He's always been able to pick it, and he's always been quick at third. He's got soft hands. He's, you know, he's battled weight issues. Remember one year in the offseason, he lost a bunch of weight. His brother was his chef. He's a good man. He really is.
And it's a guy you root for.
He is a guy you root for, except when he's playing the Rockies.
Right.
But,
and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, you hope that he doesn't get any hits or do anything like that. But talking to everybody with the Giants, they love him, and just the way he interacts with other people.
You know, we were around the cage today, and he's got some Gerardo Parra in him. He had a big smile and, you know, gregarious. And obviously the Giants are having a tough year, but you wouldn't know that he's 0 for 34.
Not at all.
2 balls and a strike on Lucroy. Jonathan facing block for the first time. Lucroy yesterday 0 for 2 and a couple of walks. He always finds his way on base. In fact, one of the 2 times yesterday he made an out. He absolutely hit a blistering line drive, but it was at Sandoval.
But I thought that, you know, one of those walks that he had where it was extended, and that was part of the reason why the pitch count for Stratton went up. He had the long one. Gerardo had a long one. So Stratton ended up throwing 98 pitches in just 4 innings.
And now Lucroy with a 3-2 count against Block, who walked 2 in the first. Here's Brandon Crawford. Gold Glover throws out Lucroy. 2 outs. I'll bring up Chatwood. Folks, when the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. On the outside corner, a strike on Chatwood. So the Rockies are 11 and 4 against the Giants this year. It's only the 3rd time in 25 years that the Rockies have won 11 or more against their divisional foe. They did it a couple years ago, and they did it in 2008. Ty Block, a 1-2-3 inning in the second. Rockies have a 1-0 lead on a Parra sac fly. To the 3rd we go. Hey, it's time. Here's our CenturyLink high-speed challenge question. Go to AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to cast your vote. Which achievement is most impressive? This is in deference to what happened last night in LA with Arizona's JD Martinez hitting 4 home runs in a game. So is it a 20 strikeout performance in 9 innings, a 4-homer game, a perfect game, or an unassisted triple play? The Diamondbacks have the first 3. They've never had an unassisted triple play. Martinez didn't hit his second until the 7th inning last night. It was a very unlikely deal where you hit 4 home runs. I mean, it's only happened 18 times to begin with in the history of the game. But he hit one the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. Remarkable.
4 different pitchers.
So the Diamondbacks, who are the only team in the history of Major League Baseball to have, and I love this graph, it just shows you how few these things have happened. They have a guy to throw a perfect game, Randy Johnson.
Yes.
Johnson also struck out 20 in 9 innings.
Right.
And now you have a 4-homer game. They're the only team that can check off those 3 boxes. Ball, 1 strike on tie block. 9-1-2 for the Giants. The Rockies have an unassisted triple play.
Tulo against the Braves.
Against Atlanta, exactly. Was that 07?
Yes, his rookie year. Yeah.
1-2. Do not have a 4-homer game. A lot of guys have hit 3. John Gray struck out 16. That's 4 away. 20, man, what a big number. Ty Block's a pretty good hitter. Strikes out. Time to check in with the birthday boy.
Happy birthday.
To me.
To you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, today's a Toyota Talk Takeover. We asked the same question to Chad Bettis. Which of those feats was the hardest thing to do? Of course, he's a pitcher. Perfect game. And he actually joked about it. He was like, come on, is it even close? Do you realize how hard it is to pitch a perfect game? I think those numbers prove that it's not as hard as striking out 20 in a game. But I do think 20 in a game is going to happen again quite often, given the fact that baseball has completely changed over the last couple of years.
Yeah, everybody strikes out now. It's not an embarrassing thing. So I would agree. I would agree with you on the 20 strikeout performance, especially some of these arms we see in baseball. The only thing that hurts the chances of that is that when you strike out a lot of guys, it takes obviously at least 3. So then you wonder about the pitch count. So the guy's got 15 strikeouts in 7 innings, but he's got 112 pitches, and the manager goes and gets him.
Says no, that's enough.
1-2 on Denard Span. He grounded to second his first time up.
Who was it earlier? Was it Scherzer said he'd rather have the 20 strikeout performance than a no-hitter? I think he said that earlier this year.
Some of the numbers, guys, on the 20 strikeout games, and you realize Kerry Wood's strikeout, the 20 strikeouts that he had, it ranks as one of the highest. If you look at some of the numbers in the box score, there's a game score. It ranks as one of the highest game scores of all time. And think about it. You were probably there, Huey. It was an infield single that ruined the perfect game.
Yeah, that was a couple years before I got over there. But I mean, that game, remember how his slider was just wicked that day.
Bill James came up with the game score, and Spilly, one of the highest game scores of all time, unfortunately came against the Rockies, and that was Clayton Kershaw's no-hitter 2 years ago at Dodger Stadium. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Span.
I was surprised when I was looking through those game scores to see that not a lot of them were perfect games or no hitters. That it was high strikeout shutouts with limited amount of hits.
That cutter looked like a pretty good pitch at the very top of the Subaru strike zone, but it's called ball 4. So Span is aboard with 1 out. And here's Joe Panik, who laced a double to center field his first time up. Second walk allowed by Chatwood.
That one, Tyler was ahead in the count 1-2.
It's really more than anything, the walks have hurt Chatty, particularly at home, where he has an ERA of 6.59.
He's still the leader in the National League in walks. Even he hasn't been in the rotation. I mean, his last start was August 2nd.
You know what's interesting about Chatwood? The last 2 years, it's been hard to not talk about the splits, the home road splits. On the road, he's been among the best pitchers in baseball, and at home, he has really struggled. Yet, when the Rockies got him from the Angels, his first couple of years prior to undergoing Tommy John surgery, he had a sub-4 ERA at Coors Field.
I know, and that's where you didn't think with his style of pitching would affect it as much as some other pitchers.
Good pickup by Mark Reynolds.
We already have some quick action for the Rockies down in the bullpen. There's a lot of movement going on.
Well, Chris Russell got up, and again, it's 43 pitches in. We guessed somewhere if things went really well in the 60s.
And some people might be wondering, you know, why not start Chris Russell and then have some guys fall. But if you do that, then you would lose him for the 2 or 3 days leading up to that start and another 2 or 3 days after the start.
Right, and he's been
right there. That's where you want to pitch.
Yeah, 1 and 2. He's been, with Greg Holland, the most valuable pitcher in the Rockies bullpen.
So that's why you don't want to take that piece of your bullpen or your component as you're looking into the game out of there for too many days.
1-2, fouled off by Panic. Panic last night hit his 10th home run. It matches his career high. He had 10 a year ago. St. John's product. And he's got himself another base hit. Span is going to stop at second base.
What is it with those two guys at the top of the lineup?
Those are the only two guys the Rockies can't get out so far in this series. Panic's 2 for 2. Span board on a walk. See if the Rockies can turn their 3rd double play. Posey's up. He had a sharp single to left. Tyler Chadwood watching Jonathan Lucroy signal to the infielders what bag he's going to go to if the runners try to produce a double steal.
You always have to be prepared, but I don't think that would happen with Buster Posey at the plate. But you always got to have that sign out there.
Good pitch.
Up and in on the Subaru strike zone. So Buster can't get his arms extended.
Another good pitch. 0-2. Posey leads the Giants in a lot of categories, including GIDPs, grounded into double plays. He's grounded into 15 of them. Oh, 2.
Wow. That ball ran in so hard to Buster at 94.
He's a tough guy to catch, again, because of the late ball movement and because, you know, he'll overamp certain pitches. That's what Bud Black said before the ball game. We ran that soundbite. 1-2, and overamps that fastball. It's up.
The one you worry about overamping is that curveball. He has a tendency to spike that one pretty hard where it's out in front of the plate so far it makes it difficult for the catcher to block.
Posey, a .381 career hitter at Coors Field. 2 on, 1 out, 2-2. Good pitch. And Posey knew it. Posey had to be sitting on a breaking ball. Wouldn't you think there, Huey, just by the reaction?
Yeah, and where it is on the Subaru strike zone.
Center cut.
That's middle. But you get him looking. It maybe was set up the pitch is inside, but this one, I don't think he was looking for that obviously there, because he just says, okay, I got to go back to the dugout.
Yeah, kind of a defeated look. Not out of the woods yet. Got a good hitter at the plate, Brandon Crawford. He hit into a 4-6-3 double play to end the first inning in a mild threat. Whoa. Chad Bettis was asked about what's the most difficult thing to produce being a pitcher. Hard to argue with a perfect game because it's not just the pitcher, but defense has to be outstanding. The catcher has to be on point. 2-0. Chatty, when he threw that 2-hit complete game shutout in San Francisco in April, was perfect the first 17 hitters. 5 2/3 until it was broken up on base hit to right by Chris Marrera. Now it's 3-0 on Crawford.
Tyler also had 17 ground ball outs that day.
Well, historically, he's been good against the Giants. A career .283 earned run average in 15 ball games. He just had a 4-pitch walk to Crawford, and now the bases are loaded for Hunter Pence. Here comes Steve Foster. Three walks.
Yeah, Rockies baseball is always live with the MLB.com and Bat mobile app. Stay connected all season with video highlights, stats, news, and more. That was just a kind of a breather moment for Tyler and Steve Foster. It was all 4 pitches. He had just kind of run away from him, meaning that to his arm side, he was starting to fly open with the front side. So reminded him, just stay closed. Stay focused and directional towards home plate.
Here's Pence, and he helps out Chatwood by firing a pitch that was chin high. 0-1.
That was a pure guess. After that pitching coach comes out, you're guessing fastball. You think it's going to be right down the middle. So as soon as that arm comes forward, you swing. That's what you got from Hunter.
He's 4 for 28 against Chatwood. Now he's behind 0-2. Again, this is where Jonathan Lucroy, you got Span at third, he's a good base runner. If you put down 2 or 3, you know what I'm thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
You know, Chatty, they're not usually, 59-foot breaking balls. A lot of times they're really difficult to block. Runner score on wild pitches against Chatty. Make one more pitch here. 0-2, and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right on point, Drew. And at 85, that's more of the changeup. See it out of the hand. Oh, excuse me. At 85, probably the curveball then, or in between slider. It's just so hard to tell when it's that hard, and it kind of goes that early.
And that literally landed about 4 or 5 feet in front of home plate. So you become just a hockey goalie. It's not, your technique is not the same for a catcher trying to block the ball. 2-2.
That was a slider at 89.
Get him to chase a fastball up, which he's prone to do.
I think that's what, as a hitter, that's what you have to look at right now. You couldn't get any off-speed pitches over. You look for fastball.
He got it. Wow. He fooled him badly, and Chatwood gets out of a bases loaded situation. The Rockies 1-0 lead is intact.
Your questions tonight on a Toyota Talk Takeover, and one of the questions obviously is going to be directed towards Chad about overcoming testicular cancer. And when he came back and made that great, magnificent start that we saw about a month ago, what was going through your mind leading up to the first pitch of your first game back? His response was all the support I had gotten from everyone. And he really does appreciate all the support, all the texts, all the tweets, all the emails, all the people that helped him along the way. He appreciates it. We appreciate it. He also acknowledges.
Pence will make the catch in the middle of the track. Had Spilly been out there heckling him, we may have had a bobble and a drop.
I should have been out there. Anyways, I was just going to say that Chad Bettis wanted to thank everybody that has supported him along the way. There's a lot of doctors, coaches, friends, family. And he always wants me to reiterate that he understands his place now in the cancer community and what he's pitching for. Shout out to my family in Santa Barbara.
You got it. You just did that. You know what? You know what's really neat is DJ takes a strike. I think people have really gotten to know about Chad Bettis, who was the same guy. I'm sure he's, whenever somebody goes through a life-altering situation, things change a little bit. But Chad is the same type of guy. Now people are, that personality, that charisma, that character has been revealed with the attention he's received the last few months. And you realize this is a grade A human being, man.
And good for him too, because sometimes when you look from the outside in and you'll see somebody out on the mound or out on the field, and you might have a different perception of them.
Sure.
Because of just their mannerisms, or the way they look, or how their facial expressions are. But for Chad, what he does on the mound is different than what he is the other, 24/7 when he's not pitching.
Yeah. And he is going to be, with his wife and those closest to him, he is going to be a leader out front and helping to eradicate just testicular cancer, but do his part to try to eradicate all the cancers.
Amen.
Ball and 2 strikes right now on Nolan. 2 outs. The Rockies in the third have just 1 hit, but they have a 1-0 lead. Nolan had that base hit in the first. And this is right back to Ty Blach. So Blach has retired 7 in a row. And that was an 8-pitch inning. We go to the fourth. The Rockies up 1-0 on the Giants. Well, this was the first pitch tonight. We wanted to let's see. Oh, a little high and in, but not bad. That first pitch thrown out by Brian Nickel, who's the CEO of Taco Bell, and he's part of a contingent of top Taco Bell franchises that franchisees owners that are here tonight. looking to raise $100,000 for the Boys and Girls Clubs. We appreciate what they have done. So thanks to Taco Bell for helping out in the community. Chatty getting handshakes, did a good job. Worked his way through some traffic tonight. And he'll give way now to Chris Russin in the fourth.
Well, and Chris is going to give you probably a couple innings, maybe a 2+, but in the month of August, he has been the man with the 106 ERA. Any different roles, whether it's coming in for a couple batters or he needs some length, 2+ innings. Chris has been that guy.
And a bouncer to Arenado. He'll throw out Pablo Sandoval. 1 out, and that'll bring up Ryder Jones. Jones had a single his first time up. Giants taking a look at some young players. They're able to activate a guy they like a lot today who'd been injured, and that's Austin Slater, an outfielder.
Yeah, he'd been down on a rehab assignment. You can activate him today. You can call some guys up because the minor league season ended yesterday for AAA and AA. And a big shout out to the Lancaster Jethawks who've made the playoffs. They'll start tomorrow.
Been a good year out there, and Grand Junction as well.
That's right. Rancho Cucamonga. I just like saying that. The Dodgers affiliate out in the Cal League. Let's see who they get in the first round.
Buddy was all fired up about Lancaster today, and he said, "You know who won?" I'm going to get the year wrong.
79.
Was it 79?
Yep.
He goes, "You know who won the Cal League in '79?" Of course, everybody had a blank stare
like,
on their face.
okay.
Buddy's smiling ear to ear. He goes, "San Jose." Who was San Jose back then?
It had to have been the Mariners.
No, but I mean, who was the what was their nickname back? Because the nicknames in minor league baseball has changed. Anyhow, Buddy has a ring. He was on San Jose. They captured a Cal League title. And then his next question, after he stumped everybody with that one, who'd we beat? Was it Modesto?
No, I think it was
Stockton.
It was the Stockton Ports.
The Stockton Ports. That's who they beat. So there you go. If your next dinner party somebody asks, "Hey, who won the Cal League title in '79?" you'll be all set.
Well, and remember what he said to finish it off is right after they won it, his car was already loaded because he had to go back down to San Diego State to start classes. He'd already missed a week worth of classes. So they won it the next day. He's sitting in he didn't tell us what class, but
macroeconomics.
Yeah.
0-1. I got Buddy as an economics guy. I don't know about chemistry.
Chemistry sounds better. Deep thinker.
Buddy's a sharp cat, no question about it. Here's the 0-1 on Hernandez, 0-2.
And what a contrast between Tyler Chatwood and a hard, heavy, right-handed sinking fastball at 96 to Chris Russin with the fastball and mainly changeup from the left side.
Chatty, 3 shutout innings, 4 hits, 3 walks. So there was traffic. Struck out 3. Got the big outs. 2 outs. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Tried to quick pitch Hernandez. It's kind of a contrast. The quick pitch, changeup.
Hard to do because your body's going so fast to the plate, but you got to keep the arm speed the same, but take enough off the velocity.
And he gets him with a slider down. Strong inning for Russin. 1-2-3 as we're accustomed to. A couple of punch outs. Mark Reynolds will lead things off. The Rockies up a run.
Light cold hard facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Happy birthday, Ryan Spilborghs, the one stupendous, amazing, fantastic walk-off grand slam in the 14th inning against the San Francisco Giants on August 24, 2009. Headache not included that night after all the pounding on the head.
Spilly, you went on the DL after that. I understand why. I mean, that they took you back against the wall.
That was still great. I can just picture Corey Sullivan barfing up in the broadcast booth watching that one last time. And you know what's really funny? Tomorrow I'm going to mess around with Dwayne Kuiper. Dwayne Kuiper was one of the very first color analysts we have had in Colorado back in 1993. Him and Charlie Jones. For any of you Rocky fans out there that remember, Dwayne Kuiper is now the legendary Giants broadcaster. I'm going to mess with it. That's my crew code. But I'm going to mess with Dwayne Kuiper tomorrow, because guess what? Dwayne Kuiper's hit one famous home run in his entire career. That's right. He just hit one in his whole career. It's still a major league record for that amount of at-bats.
Kuip and Krug are a lot of fun. They're good friends of ours. Dave Fleming is sitting in tonight. Dave obviously, well, I should say obviously, if you don't live in San Francisco, you know this. Dave does some television, and he's on radio on a regular basis. See Dave quite a bit on ESPN as well. Terrific broadcaster. That's one of the neat things for us inside the division. You get to know all your colleagues in baseball, but inside the division, a lot of times you form. There's kind of on radio tonight, but you formulate nice relationships with our counterparts. We have a lot of fun with Kuip and Krug. Mark Reynolds is gone. That'll bring up Gerardo Parra. He's responsible for the Rockies' only run, a sac fly to center field back in the first.
Ty Blach's kind of settled in after that first inning. Only has 47 pitches.
Yeah, he's pitching better tonight than he has in his last several starts. And a good curveball there. One ball, one strike.
His last 4 starts, you said it, 0-4, but a 7.77 ERA in 22 innings.
He's also given up the long ball. 6 home runs coming in over 22 innings. Prior to giving up the gopher ball, in his previous 13 starts, he'd given up only 6 home runs.
And all home runs that he's given up this year have been to right-handed batters, 0 to lefties.
So when you saw him when he's growing up and
playing for the Parker Bears.
Playing for the Parker Bears, did you see him as a better pitcher or better hitter back then?
Probably a better hitter.
He's not a bad big league hitter, actually.
No,
pitchers go.
You know, played some first base, played some outfield, pitched a little bit. But again, it goes back to he wasn't a standout guy.
You didn't say, man,
no,
that's a future professional.
Major league player.
Yeah.
No. That's kids mature and develop at different rates.
Another comebacker. 9 in a row set down, and that'll bring up Trevor Story with a fly ball to the warning track and left.
And I will say this about Ty. He's as nice as the day is long. Just a great kid from a great family.
Well, I guess on Dad's side, there's a lot of siblings, and so there's a lot of aunts and uncles and cousins and so forth. That's why there's in the neighborhood of 200 people here that are in some way either related to or close friends with Ty Blach.
What you're saying is there's a big block party here.
Nice. You wrote that down.
I was waiting for it. Thank you for setting me up.
This ball's hammered deep left field. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. 4 rows shy of the concourse, make it 2-0. Story's second career home run against Blach. He loves facing the southpaws.
Yeah, 9th home run this year against the lefties. Nice souvenir for that fan way deep into left field. He doesn't miss it. Fastball in the Subaru Supermo. And he deposited 18, 20 rows deep. Probably be easier to count from the rows from the top. Only 3 or 4 from the top, making a concourse shot.
That'll end the inning as Desmond grounds out. Trevor Story's first home run since August the 16th. Got a little grin on his face. The auto. That was a big fly. 2-0 Rockies. Colorado Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by the Lodge Casino, your first choice for fun. The walk-off walk yesterday. Rockies have 5 walk-off wins this year. 3 have come against the Giants. Ty Block against Chris Russin. He takes strike 1. Second inning of work for Russin. Chatwood went 3. Block's got a little bit of Chatwood in him at the plate.
He's stepping in the bucket.
Yeah, but he's got some bat speed and he's had some success. He's got a home run this year. He's got 7 driven in.
10 for 42.
244 average.
But just watch where he steps. He's kind of stepping towards third, whale and bail.
Did you teach him that?
No.
Good.
Hey, but if it works, and I did. No, it's not what you would teach.
Looked like he went. Alan Porter confirms it, and that is 3 strikeouts in a row. 1 gone in the top of the 5th inning. Denard Span will come up, and we'll go check in with Spilly again.
Yeah, today's a Tuesday, so it's a Toyota Talk takeover. Chad Bettis is answering questions that were sent in earlier today. The question: do you have a favorite quote, saying, mantra that has helped you over your struggles? Welcome back and congrats. Yes, of course he does. It's called "Run Through the Wall." That was a quote that his dad told him after he was struggling. It is something that is now written on his glove, and that's the way he's looking at life now, just running straight through the wall, whatever it is.
This is going to be tough. And that's interesting for Mark. He's okay. He's going to laugh about it because Mark's been around a long time, and he's good. He doesn't take himself too seriously. Nope. That'll be a base hit for Span.
Off the foot of Chris, and then I think he was going to try to go between the legs or maybe behind the back, and then he just bobbled it.
Now, hopefully, naturally, the Rockies win tonight, and you know what may show up on the field tomorrow?
Tape.
Tape of where the body was. Baseball players love to do that. Who fell down the stairs, but fortunately was okay a couple years ago, and they put the tape at the bottom of the stairs at the clubhouse? Remember that? or the dugout?
Eddie Butler?
Was it Eddie? Yeah, I think it
Or
was.
they also did it around maybe when he was coming around third. Then Gerardo
there was that one. Gerardo did a face plant going around third. If it happens in a victory,
yes,
you can expect
the gloves are off.
that you'll be reminded of that the next day. Panic 2 for 2. I said earlier, it's been the span and panic show offensively for San Francisco. 6 for 8 last night, pair of home runs. And today they've been on 4 times out of 5 plate appearances, and now it's 3 for 3 for panic, and Span's trying to go first to third, and he will.
Just some hustle from Denard Span, because Panic singled to center field in his last at bat. Span was at first and only went to second. That time he kicked it in around second base. Said, I'm gonna make Charlie throw me out. Throw was offline. Now it's first and third. Those two guys, Denard 1 for 2 tonight with a walk. Panic 3 for 3.
Been on 11 times in a game and a half. Here's Posey, 1 for 2. Struck out with runners at second and third.
Carlos Estevez up in the Rockies bullpen now.
Actually, with runners at first and third, he struck out. Looking at a fastball against Chatwood in the third, and a walk to Crawford loaded the bases. Hunter Pence struck out. Chatwood worked out of that. Russin trying to work out of this deal. One and one.
Look relaxed out on the hill, that's for sure. Nothing seems to rattle Chris Russin's cage.
Tough man at the plate. Good pitch, man. Cutter on the outside corner, 1 and 2.
And just snuck it on the black on the Subaru strike zone. That's such a tough pitch, and I think somewhere in the back of Buster Posey's mind too, he was thinking changeup.
Rockies have turned 2 twice this evening. They're up 2-0. Parra sac fly in the first. Home run by Story, his 19th last inning. 1-2, got him. Heater away at 93. That's pitching right there. It's about the top end for Chris with the fastball.
Subaru Supremo right up on the letters of Buster. And even Jonathan behind the plate was up into a higher stance to give him a better look.
So Brandon Crawford, who early in his career struggled left on left, and this year's numbers are down. 229 against lefties, but a year ago it was 276, actually a little bit better against lefties than righties. He's improved quite a bit. Takes a big swing. Doesn't get any baseball. It's 0-1. He was kind of rushed to the big leagues. His glove was big league probably from the time he left UCLA.
Even before that, yeah.
Yeah, it took him a while for the bat to become big league, but now you're talking about one of the premier shortstops all around in the game.
Those two-way players. No, they calling him up from A ball, double A. I mean, he hadn't had much minor league time at all because they needed somebody to be able to catch the ball.
Yep.
They weren't worried about the offense, and then each year, incrementally, it got better and better and better. What a block. What a block.
That's twice tonight with a runner on third. Lucroy's had to block a pitch that bounced 4 feet in front of the plate.
And both times it was Span who has good wheels. Subaru Supermo. That is 2 feet out in front of the plate. And as you said a moment ago, Drew, it's just like a hockey goalie. I mean, all technique is out the window. You could be sprawling on the ice, everything. He was just moving over to the left in the hopes that it hit his body somewhere.
Yeah, when you're doing blocking drills, typically no one's the machine or a guy throwing, you know, 35 feet's not bouncing up there. Here's the 1-1. You work on stuff like that.
That one was, yeah, because it was just in the other batter's box, but it wasn't also 3 feet in front of the other batter's box.
Lucroy checks in with Russin. 2 outs. Span at third, Panic at first. Rockies have been out hit 6-2, but they're up 2-0. Trying to keep it that way. This year against left-handed starters, the Rockies are 21-16. A base hit. Panic will stop at second, and it's 2-1. Crawford's 68th RBI. He leads the club.
Little slider on the Subaru Supermo in off the end of the bat. It just got enough of it to hit it over the head of DJ to drive in that run with 2 outs.
That'll bring up Hunter Pence. And the Rockies will bring in the right-hander to face him.
With 2 outs in the bottom, or the top of the 5th inning. Fans, if you're interested in a suite for the postseason, well, now's the time to ask about all the options. Call 303 Rockies today for more information. Carlos Estevez and coming in just to get this one final out of the 5th inning. The pitcher spot due up second. Bottom half of the 5th. These two have matched up one previous time. It's 1 for 2 is Hunter against Carlos.
Yeah, Hunter Pence A walk and a strikeout tonight. Three-time All-Star. And that first fastball's in there at 98, strike one.
That's what
Panics at second, Crawford at first. 2-1 the score.
I was going to say that's what you're seeing more of from Carlos now. He's kind of figured out the correct delivery. You still get the velocity and keep the command and control.
You still got to work down a little more frequently. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hunter Pence on the DL earlier this year with a hamstring. Last year he played in just 106 games. The year before just 52. He used to be a guy that never came off the field. 2-1. In fact, in 2013 and 2014 he played every game.
He was a modern day Iron Man. Guys, if you play 300 or 400 games now, you're going to be the leader.
Well, second week of the season next year he'll turn 35. Boy, that's late, man. And I think it's hard. I always say this, Huey. It's hard for the home plate umpire because he hears Pence yelling "tie," and your natural reaction is to throw your hands up and say time, as opposed to weighing exactly where the pitcher is in his delivery. You don't have to grant it if you're the home plate umpire. That came pretty late.
And that's where you want to be if you're Carlos. Down. Last pitch.
And I still think his best pitch is a fastball.
Yeah.
Chatwood got Pence on a fastball in the mid-90s to strike him out his last at bat. 2-2. Got him. 100 miles an hour. That's hard to hit.
Well done, Carlos.
A run for the Giants on the base hit by Crawford. It's 2-1, middle of 5.
As we head into the bottom of the 5th, today is a Toyota Talk Takeover. Chad Bettis is answering your questions. The question for Chad, again, is going to be, what do you do to mentally prepare yourself before you pitch? Well, his response, I visualize what I want to do to each hitter. And then for him, he goes out and he works with the catcher, with Jonathan Lucroy, Tony Wolters, Ryan Hannigan, and then he puts it into play. He says that's his favorite part about baseball. It's one of the parts that he missed when he was obviously going through the cancer treatment, was that competition and the preparation. We know how much he prepares, and we enjoy watching him prepare, and that's why we appreciate when he's back. Guys?
Good stuff, Billy. Thank you. 2-1. The Rockies ahead 8-9-1 in the 5th inning against Ty Block, who's allowed 2 runs on just 2 hits. 1-1 on Lucroy. It's 2-1. Ryan McMahon has come out on deck to hit for Carlos. How about that last pitch to Pence?
I like it. 100 miles an hour. Here you go. Think you can hit it. You can't. Strikeout for Carlos.
And a line drive, but it's at Joe Panic. So Lucroy did that last night. Squared up a baseball, but it was right at an infielder. Yesterday was Sandoval.
Be Ryan McMahon's turn to pinch hit. Antonio Senzatella out in the bullpen. Ryan.
And if you're wondering real quick, you say, well, why is Buddy sending up a lefty to hit against a lefty? His only 2 options from the right side are Pat Valaika or Tom Murphy. And in the case of Pat, he's your top pinch hitter, so you're going to save him for later in the ball game.
7th, 8th inning.
Yep. And Tommy Murphy's not as familiar with pinch hitting, and I think he's feeling that McMahon may have a better chance of getting on base.
Well, lefties are hitting 260 off a tie. Right-handers 294. It's a little higher for the right-handers, but not significantly lower. One thing they haven't done is hit any sort of long ball left-handed off a tie. Left-handed batters.
1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, the Rockies loaded the bases in the first. DJ walked, Nolan a sharp single to center, then Reynolds walked. Gerardo hit the ball well for his sac fly. Trevor hit a ball to the track for the final out in the first, and you felt like, boy, the Rockies are dialed in. They're seeing Block well. And here we are with 1 out in the 5th, and the Rockies have only 1 other base runner since then, and that was Story as he toured the bases on the home run.
And just kind of looking at the book here, I mean, Jonathan lined out a moment ago to second base. You had Charlie who hit that pretty deep one to right field that Hunter Pence went back on, and maybe the play down the line that Ian hit, but in between all of that, not a whole lot, a lot of weak contact.
And McMahon called out on strikes.
Boy, that's above the Subaru strike zone. That didn't even catch any part of it.
Second strikeout for Block. His first was Chatwood at the second. 2 outs. And Blackman trying to get his first hit ever against Block. He's 0 for 11. He hit the ball really well his last time up. A line drive to the warning track in right. Blackman hasn't hit a home run since the 3rd inning yesterday. Boy, is he ever due.
And that one he hit yesterday, 441 feet.
Number 33. He's got 86 RBIs, 85 out of that leadoff spot. 4 away from Craig Biggio. Down the line, just foul. You know what Charlie's going to have at the end of the year? He's going to have the all-time record for most total bases by a leadoff hitter. He's at 341. Alfonso Soriano with the Yankees in 02, 368. 2-1.
Oh, he's gonna, yeah. He might get close to 400.
The 341 that he currently has is 7th all time for a leadoff hitter. It's been an MVP kind of year. Span in center field. And Block continues to have his way with the Rockies, but Colorado's in front 2-1 as we go to the 6th. Here's our Kubota pitching performance. The Rockies are having a bullpen day. Tyler Chatwood, 3 innings. Had some traffic, but he didn't allow a run. And then Chris Russin ends up giving up a run in inning and 2/3. He struck out 4, didn't walk a batter, and then the big out here. Carlos Estevez with a 100-mile-an-hour heater to get Hunter Pence. Rockies up 2-1, and now they'll hand the baseball to Antonio Senzatella.
It's been 8 days for Antonio since he's been out on the mound. Last appearance was in the Detroit series. But as a reliever this year, a 1.93 ERA, opponents hitting a measly 106 in 14 innings pitched. This will be his 8th time coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's been sharp coming out of the pen.
See a higher velocity with the fastball. That's the thing that really I noticed first and foremost for Antonio.
Sandoval, Ryder Jones, Gorkys, Hernandez. 6, 7, and 8 for the Giants. Sandoval's 0 for 2, and he takes a slider with a little late bite for strike 1. Sandoval, as we've said, 0 for his last 35 at the plate.
Closing in on a San Francisco record.
Well, the record is 0 for 37 back in '84 by the former shortstop Johnny LeMaster.
Remember Johnny used to choke up on the bat?
Yep. 1 and 2.
He used to choke up with like Bucky Dent did. I mean, that's how high they were, 2-3 good inches off the end of the bat.
Well, they still weren't approaching Felix Mian territory.
No, they weren't.
Half the bat.
You didn't know which side was
Yeah, you know which was up or down.
barrel.
He had it right in the middle. He's got his hands around the label. 1-2. Seeing more curveballs, more sliders from Senzatella.
Probably better ones too as a reliever. As a starter, it would be, 1 out of every 3, it seemed like.
One, 2. Fastball, and it did not hit Sandoval. He popped the hands out of the way, and that's a good pitch. And
yeah,
you get that, don't you, when you go away, and then all of a sudden the hitter starts leaning out over the plate.
Yeah,
something comes in the kitchen.
Yeah, the top half starts to go out. You're thinking they're going to go away. I got to hit the ball to left field. Because that was a late reaction from Kung Fu Panda.
2-2, and he struck him out. That'll bring up Ryder Jones. Ryder Jones a single in the 2nd and a strikeout in the 4th.
Hey, calling all college students, take a study break. Come on out to the ballpark on Friday, September 15th. Purchase a special ticket package and receive a special college night item and discounted ticket. Who doesn't like a study break from college?
There's an assumption that there's studying going on, right? Better be.
It better be. Jacob.
Jacob, are you listening? Cody, are you listening? 0-1. That's in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bouncing ball foul. Billy.
Yeah, what's up?
What are you doing?
I feel like I'm a pageant winner out here in center field.
Yeah, we've often referred to you as a pageant winner. Go ahead.
Sitting up here, had a lot of water. Kind of stuck, so might as well. Let's do a question that Chad answered earlier. Somebody asked, what's your favorite cereal? His cereal, you're going to get a kick out of this, Drew. He's bland like you. He loves Cheerios. The regular ones.
Listen, you're on a roll. Keep going, buddy.
You know what? I always laugh because anytime somebody's eating like plain Cheerios, I think back. That's how we trained our dog to sit in the corner, was using Cheerios, just plain ones, because it doesn't hurt their stomachs.
I was debating whether to get you, you know, a fine bottle of vino or Cheerios, and guess what you're going to get now?
A fine bottle of vino?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good friend of ours, Corey Sullivan, gave me a very fine bottle of vino, and I might go crack it in the scoreboard, the auxiliary scoreboard, in about 5 minutes.
Hey, listen, if the Rockies still have 2 hits, then by all means.
Yeah, maybe you can break it over all the bats, you know, like the bow of a ship.
Oh, like the maiden voyage of all the bats?
Right.
Actually, that's a nice bottle of wine.
Yeah,
Get a different one to break over
the
ship. Here's the 1-1 to Hernandez, and he pops this up to shallow left. This is a difficult spot unless you run like the Rockies shortstop Trevor Story. Good inning from Senzatella. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. An orange moon overhead. 2-1 Colorado. That is beautiful. That's full, right? Looks full to me.
Looks full.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Getting confirmation it is.
DJ's got himself a 12-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 1 in a walk. Scored the Rockies' first run on a sac fly by Parra. He's hitting .360 with 3 home runs during this hitting streak. It's his longest of the year.
Beat the ship that Arizona tried to throw at him.
So since June 15, he's hitting .355. There's only one guy with a higher average in the National League. It's his locker mate. Charlie's hitting .356. Top 2 averages in baseball or in the National League. The only guy higher is Jose Altuve. 0-1 from Ty Block, and a base hit in a 13-game hitting streak. See, Allison Behill, our producer, ran that little piece on the 12-game hitting streak to give good karma out there to DJ. So a leadoff knock, just the Rockies' 3rd, and that'll bring up Nolan.
Just the first leadoff hitter they've had on tonight.
Needs a strike on Nolan. Single and a comebacker. .26-year-old Ty Block.
Came into the game. We talk about Kyle Freeland and not being afraid to pitch here at Coors Field because of the altitude, all that. Ty growing up here, going to Regis. He has a 2.53 ERA at Coors Field coming into tonight.
Down the line foul. It's kind of like Kyle Freeland, right? You're saying that.
This is their normal. It's what they grew up pitching in.
And right now, on a professional level for high school kids, seeing more arms drafted out of the state. I think there's still, I don't want to say skepticism, but with position players, they want to see them, you know, face high-end competition and consistent velocity. But there's a lot of major schools and a ton of professional scouts that like the young arms that Colorado's producing.
It's good to see.
Great to see.
A lot of good talent in this state.
2-2, and this is fouled off.
The Rocky scout team has a lot of great talent going on.
They got a ton of talent. Wayne Dolan and son Jeff and Gus and Sterling Monfort, Mark Gustafson. They do a fabulous job with that team, and
year after year after year.
Year after year. It's down low. A lot of big name schools represented on that roster. Is Spilly in the scoreboard again?
He's getting close.
DJ with a 3-2 count on Arenado. I don't think they'll run DJ here, but I may be wrong.
If they do, it's going to be, you know, something happens and Nolan would strike out, then he would be thrown out by a ways, because you got to really wait to make sure he delivers the ball home.
Not going, and this ball toward the gap in left center field, and it's going to run all the way to the wall. DJ's going to get a green light from Stu Cole. He'll stride home. RBI double from Nolan. It's 3-1.
The two guys that have had their way with San Francisco have been DJ and that man right there, Nolan, with his 40th double this year, 112 RBIs. 3-2 count, gets a high changeup on the Subaru Supermo, and Nolan did exactly what you should do with that pitch. Take it to the gap. 40 doubles now. He leads the National League, one more than Daniel Murphy of Washington. DJ, this is the best feeling when you're going around second. You don't even have to worry about what the third base coach is waving you home, because you know where the ball is, you know where you are, and then it's just an easy jog home. Also on that list, Dubal Herrera, Nick Markakis, another national, Anthony Rendon.
Nobody out. Here's Reynolds with Nolan at second. $112 RBIs.
Derek Law, the right-hander, up in San Francisco's bullpen.
Nolan a couple knocks tonight. Great to see. He had been 6 for 36 coming into the ball game. Reynolds drives it to left. This one will go to the corner. Nolan will cruise home. Into second is Reynolds. Got a hustle, and he just got a foot in there. Back-to-back doubles, 4-1 Colorado. Some of the hits that have been missing with runners in scoring position showing up here in the 6th inning.
After the double by Nolan, Mark does his part with his 19th on the season. He hit it so hard it bounces off the wall. You know Nolan's going to score, but Gorkys Hernandez gets this in, and just under the tag on the Subaru Supermo of Joe Panic is that right foot of Mark Reynolds.
Here's Gerardo. Ball one. One-0 to Parra. Catches his own 1-1. We mentioned the 40 doubles for Nolan. He had 43 doubles 2 years ago. So the second time in his career he's produced 40 or more. That's a line shot. Crawford makes a great catch, and Parra threw his bat 20 feet in the air. As if to say, you got to be kidding me.
Well, that was a Gold Glove play by a Gold Glover and Brandon Crawford, slicing away from him, and he lays out, times his dive perfectly, just right in the webbing on the Subaru Supermo, and then the bat toss from Gerardo. I don't blame you. That bat went about 25 feet, as you said, and then landed softly in the grass.
And that'll be all for Ty Block, with Trevor Story coming up. So the Regis High School product really good for 5 innings. Rockies getting after him here in inning number 6, 4-1 Colorado.
I'm not going to take all the credit. I'm just going to take most of the credit, but check out the score. Cincinnati, I'm the biggest fan of right now, leading 9-3. And in a couple of minutes, there's a good chance that I'm going to change this 9 to an F.
Well done, Spilly, because just a moment ago it was 4-3. So just you moving over there, they tacked on 5 more runs.
Spilly, I'm not going to run the line that Doug just gave me, saying that you're very familiar with the letter F.
For fail?
So I didn't want to run that.
It's not nice,
I
Doug.
got you back.
And it depends!
Are we going to go there again?
No.
Well, you made nice with him, and then he's so close to you tonight. I mean, he's even closer than last night.
He's pretty close. And underneath us is the warning track seats, which are great seats. I think we run a promo on it. The Cowboys down there have been doing their part.
0-1 on Trevor, who hit one to the moon, and that's a big pass ball on Buster Posey, because now with 1 out, they're going to have to bring the infield in as Reynolds goes to third. In the interest of full disclosure and honesty, by the way, Spilly, let's watch this pitch again.
Yeah, it went off the end of his glove on the Subaru Supermo. Didn't come anywhere close to where Buster had set up, but still, you got to catch that. But it helps Trevor.
1-1. 2-1. Spilly?
Yeah.
I made the first part up about Doug feeding me that line. It came out of my...
Came out of your mouth.
Came out of my mouth.
You're too deep, Hunter!
see.
Now you're too shallow.
Gotta play. Why is your cat's name Ralph?
Why is your cat's name Ralph? Is that real? Is that for real? Does he have a cat named Ralph?
I have no idea. 2-2 on Trevor.
Throwing the curveball.
Good job. This is one of those, at bats for Trevor that he knows he's got to find a way to get it in play. Reynolds home with that 5th run.
For Law with the right-handers, he likes a fastball, and then his best secondary pitch is a slider. That was cut on that fastball, 95.
And the thing about that pitch, Huey, right on right, it cuts to the barrel, and you can tell Story was actually on that.
Yeah, barrel finders is what you call them if they don't cut enough.
Trevor's seen his arsenal. 2-2.
Good at bat.
Yep, he's having a good at bat.
Look at the Subaru strike zone. I mean, they're trying to stay away from Trevor. It's pretty clear on all the pitches.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah. Trevor too, and now you're starting to feel that as a hitter. You'll start to lean out over the plate.
Trevor, a deep fly ball to left, and then a deep fly ball nearly to the concourse for a home run is 19 in the 4th. Trying to drive in Reynolds with the Rockies' 5th run. Mark had to duck out of the way.
Trevor's on Derek Law right now.
Two again. 3-2. And Desmond's on deck. Win the AB here.
That's what you're telling yourself. Confidence level should be pretty high after the pitches you fouled off and you've seen.
Law gets him. Now they're 2 outs. And Desmond will come up and try to come through with 2 outs.
Got an update, Spilly?
It's a final in Cincinnati.
Slap that F up there, Spilly.
Oh,
the rally boots work.
Rally boots work.
Nice.
Well done.
So the Rockies, with a win, can move 2.5 games up on Milwaukee. Outside on Desmond. Desmond robbed of a hit by Sandoval down the line in the 2nd inning. And then he grounded out to short, so he's 0 for 2. Toward the gap in right center field. This will get the job done. Extra bases for Desmond as Reynolds scores. A 2-out double. It is 5-1 Colorado. Big double there from Ian Desmond.
That's picking up your teammate. This whole inning started with the base hit by DJ, then the double. Now Ian with the opposite field extra base hit. A little bit of a struggle for Ian with the extra base hits, just 2 in his last 96. But what a time to come through. Had another marker on the board.
Yep, that was large. Even yesterday, the Rockies, that 4-3 win, Huey, but they were 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. We all know on the weekend they were 2 for 30 against Arizona. Rockies have been the best team all year with runners in scoring position. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs, number 1. Lucroy takes inside. Just got to figure it's a matter of time.
Yes.
Until it starts happening again.
And I said it last night, and I think it bears repeating, where, you know, it's got to be for 2 or 3 games in a row. And then you feel, okay.
Guys will loosen up a little bit.
They will. They've been gripping the bat pretty tight.
And I know Spilly's out there, and I want his opinion on this also. 1 ball, 1 strike on Lucroy. And that is not only, to your point, Huey, where it's got to be 2, 3, 4 games in a row, but it's nice from a pressure standpoint to look up on that scoreboard and see the final Spilly just put up there and know that with wins you're getting separation, and that hard work is really paying off.
He tried hard not to scoreboard watch, understanding that, look, it's September 5th. There's 25 games left, but you can't help yourself. And you understand too that when you're playing this game, that over the course of the season, you're going to have highs and lows. That's how it works. But the fact that the Milwaukee Brewers lost today and you know that they're on your tail, it does. You can look up and say, phew, now let's score some runs. And I think when you're watching this group of guys, they believe in their talent. They don't know who's going to come big every single night, and that's the beauty of baseball. Once this team starts really trusting each other, and you'll see that. You saw it with the Diamondbacks. You see it with teams that go through these stretch runs. The Cleveland Indians are in the middle of it too. They talk about you come to the field, you don't know who's going to do anything, but you know you're going to win. And they're getting closer and closer to that. And obviously, try not to scoreboard watch, but paying attention to it and seeing a loss helps them out.
I think it's perfectly understandable now with just, as you mentioned, 25 games left to scoreboard watch. That's part of the fun of baseball.
Yeah, and I call BS on anybody who says that they're not aware of what the teams who are pursuing you or the teams that maybe are directly in front of you
and you
are
know
doing.
Who's playing. You know that Arizona's in LA. You know that St. Louis is down in San Diego.
It is the beauty of this time of year. Buddy had a great answer. He said, I'm aware of what other teams are doing back in April. This ball pulled through the hole. Lucroy a hit. Here's Desmond coming home. He'll score run number 6. Rockies on fire all of a sudden with 2 outs.
Now they're 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Jonathan deserves this one after the line out he had in his last at bat, hit it right on the nails. Ezzy with a great turn at third base, head down. He knows he's going to be able to score. Oh, a hanging slider on the Subaru Supermo, maybe even a curveball. A little bit of bite to it, not a whole lot. Stayed up towards the belt. Jonathan, 6th RBI of the year.
Book on Ty Block as Dave Righetti completes his conversation. Alan Porter, Jonathan Lucroy sharing a laugh. Ty went 5 1/3, 5 runs, 5 hits, couple walks, couple strikeouts. Senzatella here. Getting to swing the bat. Giants are playing like a team that is 32 games under 500. Wild pitch.
We also have the Giants, who the worst winning percentage out on the road in the National League. Just .314.
1-1 on Senzatella. .22 and 48 out on the road. This is how rough a ride it's been with runners in scoring position. The Rockies, as you just said, 3 for 6 tonight, right? They had 2 hits last night with runners in scoring position. The last time they had 3 or more, which is not a huge total, right?
Right.
August 19th against Milwaukee. That will end the inning. The Rockies score 4 runs, and they do plenty of damage with 2 outs. And a close game is now 6-1 in favor of Colorado. Lexus look back. Trevor Story hit one a country mile, was 19 to make it 2-0 at the time for the Rockies against Ty Block, who was really pitching well. That was just his 2nd hit allowed. But the Rockies got things rolling in the 6th. Nolan an RBI double, his 112th driven in. DJ scores. He had a base hit. He has a 13-game hitting streak. Nolan comes around on the double by Reynolds. The Rockies kept producing. Ian Desmond had a double to score a run. Jonathan Lucroy with 2 outs, a single to score a run. Gerardo Parra having fun with the full house out the bullpen.
We got this. Just chill out for a while. Mac Williamson will pinch hit for the Giants. Mac started last night.
9-1-2 for San Francisco in the 7th.
It was 0 for 3 last night.
Senzatella 1-2-3 6th inning in his 1st inning of work. A couple of strikeouts. He's the 4th pitcher used tonight. It's going to be a bullpen day. Chatwood got the start. 3 shutout innings. Dealt with a little traffic, but he had some big punch outs. Had a couple double plays hit behind him.
But I think now, with Antonio being able to pinch hit last half inning, that's going to help maybe slow down the bullpen procession if Antonio does his job.
Well, because the Rockies opened up that nice lead. So
yeah, because prior to that, then you did have Jake McGee warming up out there.
6-1 Rockies. Down the first base line, a base hit for Williamson.
Always a fun time when you can take a behind-the-scenes tours of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets available year-round. Call 303 Rockies.
Denard Span 1 for 2 and a walk. Joe Panik, who's 3 for 3 on deck. So breaking ball for a strike. It'll be interesting, Huey, what the Giants do in the offseason. Every team is always a curious study, but the Giants have typically been aggressive in acquiring players as opposed to just growing them through their system. You know, the nucleus from the pitching standpoint, at least with starters in capturing 3 World Series, we're homegrown guys. I mean, Matt Cain, Bumgarner, Tim Lincecum.
Right.
But a lot of the position players were acquired. The Giants are never about rebuilding.
No.
They've got some age on guys.
I think that's the big thing is, you know, a lot of that core guy, they're starting to get older. Hunter Pence, you got Span in center field. And up the middle, they're okay with Panik and Brandon Crawford, but does Brandon Belt, is he able to come back?
A lot of injuries in his career.
Yeah,
and now
and
4 concussions.
And Mike Matheny came out the other day and said, hey, be careful. And Mike had to retire because of concussions.
Just missed 3 and 2.
You hope that's not the case for
Sure.
Brandon's sake. And you never want that. Never like those injuries on a player.
You know, they had that lockdown bullpen for so long, and it was the same names every year. And now that bullpen is in transition. They went out and signed Melanson, and that's a walk now.
Oh,
2 are on, nobody out, and the hottest hitter in the lineup's coming up in Panik.
That one hurts too, because you were ahead of Denard. Just threw 3 wild. Well, for Joe Panik, started off with the double, the leg double in the first inning. But all 3 were right in about the same spot, up the middle. I think he using the big part of the field. And the 2 singles, one in the 3rd, one in the 5th. Mike Dunn quickly getting loose in the Rockies bullpen.
This is much done, man. We're getting ready in a hurry here.
Well,
Same thing with Neshek.
Yeah.
Law averages, Panik's got to make an out at some point, right?
You would think so. Have to hit the ball at somebody.
6 hits and 7 at bats in the first 2 ball games of this series. Don't let the Giants have any life here. 6-1 Colorado, 2 on, nobody out in the 7th.
Joe Panik on the year hitting .397 against the Rockies. It's 25 for 63.
And they're going to get him here. Foul ground, Nolan. 1 out. And that'll bring up Posey. Buster a single in the first, and then a couple of strikeouts, 1 looking. Spilly, how the boots doing?
Boots are made for walking, I guess, or rallies, and that's just what they'll do.
Boots are made for walking yesterday, yep.
I'm loving it out here.
It's a little cooler for you, isn't it, tonight?
Yeah, it's a lot cooler. My outfit is horrible, by the way. Did you notice that I was wearing a purple polo shirt with a bad sports jacket on it?
Yeah, here's the thing on the sports jacket. Posey rips one to center field. That's going to bring home a run, and in fact, Charlie's trying to cut it off. Span being sent. He's going to score. It's a 2-run double for Posey. And now it's 6-3. RBIs 58, 59 for Buster Posey. So Sensatella gave up the hit to Williamson, but the Span walk is the one that was
well, even the
costly.
Yeah, but even the hit to Williamson, it was an 0-2 pitch that he left up. And then the walk to Span, he comes around to score from first base on the double by Buster. 28th double of the season.
Let the Giants back in the ball game.
Gonna go to the left-hander Dunn. Then you might piecemeal this inning to get out of it.
Sensatella will hand off the baseball to Buddy Black. 6-3. AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. This is inside the scoreboard. It's Phillies' new hangout. Rockies leading 6-3. It was 6-1, but a 2-run double a moment ago by Buster Posey. Sensatella's been removed, and it's not Mike Dunn. Zach Rosscup must have gotten up quickly and got ready, and we assume this is for one batter, Brandon Crawford. Rosscup has been tough on lefties. Crawford an RBI single in the 5th, 1 for 2 and a walk. Oh and 1.
See why it'd be tough on left-handers. He drops the ball down behind his back leg. He kicks his right leg out.
Get a fly ball to center field. Pretty well hit, but Charlie's got room.
Great arm. Wow. Well done, Charlie.
Yeah, and we don't talk a lot about it. Charlie's arm. You know, sometimes it gets overshadowed by Cargo's arm and Parra's arm. Charlie could throw the baseball. This is a guy that was 95 on the mound back in his college days.
Yeah, so he runs back to the spot, gets 2 feet behind it, and then works through it. Because Buster goes back to tag, thinking I might have a chance. He takes off hard until he sees the fly to the baseball, and then he retreats back to second.
Now, Rosscup does his job. Pat Neshek's going to be coming in, and there's a gorgeous view of it. And I think, you know, there's some ballparks you can get away with guys that maybe don't have plus arms. At Coors Field, you got to have 3 guys that can throw the baseball.
Com ballpark app, the official app of Coors Field. Find food and beverage locations and even upgrade your seats from the app. Right-hander Pat Neshek coming into the ball game. He faced Hunter Pence yesterday, got Hunter to ground out 4-3. 5 other times, excuse me, they've matched up.
Hunter's already left 6 guys on in this game. And it's pretty important that Neshek makes it 7 guys. Rockies up by 3 runs with Posey in scoring position.
Pat, an inning of work yesterday, had 1 strikeout, only totaled 9 pitches thrown in that inning.
Walk and 2 strikeouts for Pence.
He went, check him.
He did. Alan Porter's all over it. 2 strikes. Oh-2. And a ground ball to second. DJ gets Hunter Pence. Posey doubled in 2. The Rockies, as we stretch at Coors Field, lead 6-3 over San Francisco. The Unlimited Baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. This is interesting, unless of course you're the New York Yankees. The Red Sox today admitted to using electronic communication to steal opponent signs and relay them to their players during games. The Yankees general manager Brian Cashman filed a complaint with Major League Baseball. He supplied video of what the team contended was a Red Sox trainer looking at his Apple Watch and relaying information to the players. Boston has since filed a complaint that New York has been using a camera from Yes Network to steal signs. The Red Sox and Yankees really love each other,
They do.
folks.
There's a real nice relationship going on there.
We'll see how that one turns out.
Yeah.
Reyes Maranta is making his major league debut. Charlie Blackmon and the Rockies top of the order in the bottom of the 7th. Rockies looking to get a couple of those runs back. Work in Sacramento this year for Maranta.
It was 3-0 down there with a 2.12 ERA.
New right fielder is Mac Williamson. Hunter Pence has come out. One and two. Derek Law went 2/3 of an inning, gave up a run on 2 hits. Also had a couple of strikeouts. Get blocked. 5 1/3, 5 runs, 5 hits, 2 and 2, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And that's strike 3. Boy, Charlie's hot, man. You could hear him up here at Andy Fletcher, and it was in the Subaru strike zone.
Let's see Charlie get this animated about a pitch. And I think as a hit or two, you'll look back and then you'll see the catcher pull it up, and that's kind of what gives you the indication as well that you didn't think it was.
A rare 0 for 4 for Charlie. Here's DJ, base hit to start the rally in the 6th inning, and also push his hitting streak to 13 games. He takes strike 1. DJ scored a couple runs tonight. He walked in the 1st. Sandoval, 2 outs. Nolan's had a nice ball game. Sharp single to center in the 1st, and a booming double to left center field in the 6th inning.
Kind of
Get the Rockies their 3rd run.
Kind of set that whole 6th inning off with that double. 40th double of the season. 112th RBI. Scores DJ, which he's done a number of times this year.
Fastball at 97, pretty good.
Well, this is Moranta's major league debut. He was up earlier just for 1 game, just didn't appear in that game.
0-2. Nolan has slugged .620 in his career against the Giants. Since they moved out of Upper Manhattan in '58, the only guy who slugged better against the Giants, the Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell. That's .620, and that's half the time playing at AT&T.
Bagwell, he probably played some of those games at Candlestick.
Sure did.
Because last year Candlestick was 99, then they moved over to AT&T in 2000.
Back when it was Pac Bell.
Pac Bell, that's still has got a ways to go before it catches up with Landshark.
They changed it again.
Did
you know that?
No, I didn't.
It's got a new name. 2-2. 3-2. Dougie, what are they calling that stadium in Fort Lauderdale this week? I know that. I just saw that.
That was like the name of the month club.
Yeah, that's why I said this week. I don't know. Maybe different by mid-season for the Finns. 3-2. And a bouncing ball. And panic. Did get him. Nolan got himself a leg hit.
I'm trying to figure out why Joe Panic went down to slide on this ball. Watch where he catches it. This is a spin and throw type of play. Now, if you slide, it's because you catch it down by the ground. Nolan sniffing the hit. Definitely safe on the Subaru Supermo.
Well, Nolan doesn't get many of those. So a 2-out knock. He's got a 3-hit night. And here's Mark Reynolds, who doubled in a run last inning. It's Hard Rock Stadium.
Hard Rock now?
Huey.
Okay.
Shame on you for not knowing that. Buster takes a foul tip. .28 home runs for Reynolds, the most he's had in a season since he hit 37 back in 2011. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got a little shocking stat to share with you. Nolan with a 3-hit ball game. That's his first since July 30th.
Wow, it is shocking.
But there's been a lot of 2-hit games with damage. Spilligus, Story hanging out. Billy put the final up on the Cincinnati-Milwaukee game. If you missed it earlier, the Reds all over Milwaukee tonight, 9-3. So now the Rockies are 2 games. There's Billy, 2 games clear of Milwaukee in the wild card chase, trying to make it 2.5. Nolan took off on that 1-2 pitch.
Milwaukee's not, or excuse me, St. Louis isn't far behind Milwaukee, and they're up currently on San Diego 7-4.
Here's a little scoreboard for the games of great importance to the Rockies. You don't leave out the Cardinals. That's going to be a base hit to right center field. Nolan will pick it up and go first to third, as Mac Williamson didn't pick it up cleanly. Spilly must have been heckling him.
Remember yesterday was Williamson in left field that had trouble with Charlie's fly ball in the ninth. Off the end of the bat. Boy, this thing went 3 pieces, and half that barrel landed out towards third base. Nolan, not sure if he was going to go immediately till he saw the bobble. In any event, it's first and third, and that will be all for Maranta.
Rockies trying to rally again with 2 outs. They're up 6-3.
Tacos for everybody. Pitching change, Josh Oshitz coming in to face Gerardo Parra. This is probably my favorite spot to watch a baseball game. Nobody's allowed in here. I can change the score any way I want. I'm not heckling Mac Williamson, except he does have sausage fingers. So, back to you guys. I'm gonna get ready for a post-game interview. I haven't figured out who I want to interview yet. Thinking Trevor Story, thinking somebody. Still got a lot of baseball to go, guys.
Tweet Spilly as to who you want to hear from. Here's Josh Osich, hard-throwing left-hander. 219 average for lefties against Osich. Righties are over 300. Gerardo Parra has hit over 300 against lefties this year. Sac fly in the first. Robbed of a base hit by Crawford his last at bat on a line shot. And this is pulled off the glove of the first baseman and into. Wow. They still had Reynolds. Ryder Jones hung with it. But the throw eluded the glove of Brandon Crawford, and the Rockies get another run. 7-3.
We saw the bobble in right field by Williamson to help Nolan get to third. Then this ball off the glove of Ryder Jones. Still had an opportunity at second, but then a high throw going into second base. So he kind of stumbles a little bit as he's going for this baseball. Mark had to wait to make sure it got through.
Oh, it hit Reynolds. That's why Brandon couldn't make the catch.
Couldn't see from that angle.
Rockies catch a break, and they add a 7th run. Bruce Bochy will make another pitching change with Trevor Story coming up. 7-3 Rockies. We've been told it's not a full moon, not till tomorrow. It looks like it's really close, but tomorrow will be the full moon. Hey, everybody gets tacos. It's been a while. The Rockies have scored 7 runs. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special at Moss and Taco Bell.
And Doug's telling me full corn moon
At 3:40 a.m. tonight. Doug knows such things. This is Roberto Gomez, who will be making his major league debut. Journeyman minor leaguer who was a spot starter and reliever in Sacramento this year.
2 guys making their major league debut in this inning alone.
And if you keep a book with us at home, and we encourage you to do so, for no other reason than it's fun. That is a base hit from Parra off the glove of Ryder Jones. So Gerardo will get an RBI, his 64th. He's driven in 2 tonight. Trevor Story, a long home run in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. Rockies in double figures now in hits also. They have 10.
This inning all started with the leg single by Nolan with 2 outs.
First pitch strike. Rockies with the 4-3 walk-off win yesterday. Snapped a 4-game losing streak. Put together a nice run the other direction.
After tomorrow night too, they go out on the road for 14 out of their next 17.
Be a tough road trip. They play 4 in LA. I know the Dodgers finally have gone through a period where they've got knocked around. First time this year. And then they'll go to Arizona. At some point, Arizona has to cool off. They won their 11th straight last night. Looking up on the scoreboard tonight, they are leading 1-0 in the 4th. One and 2. And that's line to right. But Williamson is there. Story hit that thing right on the nose. Rockies get a run on the base hit by Parra. 7-3 Colorado. So far, so good for the Rockies as we go to the top of the 8th inning. Colorado in front 7-3 with Jeff Hewson and our intrepid reporter who's hanging in the scoreboard and is also celebrating his 38th birthday. Ryan Spilborghs. I'm Drew Goodman. Jake McGee's on to pitch the 8th.
Sixth Rockies reliever tonight. Chris Russin, then Carlos Estevez, Antonio, Zach Roscup, Pat Neshek, and now Jake McGee.
Tyler Chatwood went 3 innings. Just trying to guess if the Rockies can get these last 6 outs. Shake hands. My guess is Chris Russin will get the victory. Russin, an inning and 2/3, gave up a run on 3 hits, no walks, struck out 4. Chatwood, who started through 3 shutout, not eligible. You have to work at least 5 innings as a starting pitcher to get a victory. Sandoval takes inside, 0 for 3, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play, grounded out to third and struck out. We were discussing this an inning or two ago about the Giants, how many moves they make in the offseason. You know, Crawford, Posey, they're locks to be back. Panic, you would think. Brandon Belt, if he's healthy, I mean, you know, a couple of those guys, not the first two. You can see maybe using one of those guys as a trade chip. 3-1. Bumgarner's not going anywhere.
No. Marge is still locked down, but who's going to play third? That would be a big question.
Yeah, 3-1, 3-2. Most of this year, Eduardo Nunez was playing third. Boston needed a third baseman, and that's ball 4. And once the Giants had fallen hopelessly out of it, they traded Nunez to Boston. And the irony, of course, is the guy Boston had signed a couple years ago to play third is back playing third for the Giants, Pablo Sandoval. He's at first, Ryder Jones at the plate. Excuse me, Ryder Jones being pinch hit for. It'll be Kelby Tomlinson.
Ryder hitting left-handed. They want to go to the right-hander. Kelby, Texas Tech product.
Quickly 2 strikes on Tomlinson. The Giants began the day. Think about this, because the Dodgers, what, they have 1 win in their last 9-10 ball games.
Yeah.
And the Giants are still 39.5 out, which is the 4th largest deficit they've ever had in their history. I mean, it's going back to the beginning of the 20th century. 0-2. The most they've ever been back since moving west. The worst season they've had since going to San Francisco was '85. They went 62 and 100.
They would have to win 9 out of these last 22 games just to make sure they didn't have a 100-loss season.
Strike 3 on Tomlinson. Payne on the inside corner.
Is right, Drew. That's exactly what he did on the inside corner. Didn't even have to move his glove. Watch Jonathan just boom right there, hold it, strike 3.
Yep, stuck at good hands from Lucroy. So there's 1 out. And that'll bring up Gorkys Hernandez 0 for 3. Williamson on deck. Two-0. It's a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike now. One more game on this homestand. It's tomorrow night. It'll be a late night. It's LA in the middle of the night. This is Luke to DJ on the grass. He'll make the catch. And the right fielder, Mac Williamson, with the 2nd at bat. He had a base hit and scored a run in the 7th.
Kind of thought that the Dodgers would come back to earth, because remember the June that the Rockies had where they had only 8 home games?
Yeah, 9 home games.
9 home games. A lot of traveling during that. That's how the Dodgers were in August. They only had 8 home games. in August, and then that travel just wears on you.
Yeah, and I don't care who you are. I mean, they were winning in every way imaginable. And listen, they're really good. They're really good. They have pitching depth. Chris Taylor has come seemingly out of nowhere to have an extraordinary year. Cody Bellinger. I mean, you're familiar with the stories, but the pace that they were winning games, where it was at like 120 game clip, it's really not sustainable.
Yeah. I mean,
Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts
is 92 and 45.
Right. Dave Roberts has said in the last day or two, you know, we're going to get back to form, and you know he's relentlessly positive, as is Buddy Black. But you hope they keep. This is going to be a tough play. That'll be a base hit for Williamson. So 2 on for Denard Span with 2 outs.
Second hit tonight for Williamson, came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th.
You hope the Rockies just keep the Dodgers though in their funk. They're going in there Thursday to play a 4-game set. Span has been really good in this series. He had panicked tonight. 2 walks and a base hit. He's hit .452 against the Rockies the last 9 ball games. Jake's got to get him here.
This year for Denard hitting .219 versus the Southpaws .280 against right-handers.
One on the 33-year-old. Good years in Minnesota and Washington. He's born in D.C. Got to play there a little bit also. 0-2. A couple 300 seasons in a Washington uniform. He went to high school in Tampa, like Ian Desmond, went to Tampa Catholic. That's a hotbed for
it is.
Baseball players, good athletes in general. 0-2. Whoa.
Jonathan's had his work cut out a couple times tonight back there. Block of the ball to Chatwood, runner Russ, and then he wanted that ball up and ended up down by his ankles.
As hard as guys throw today, you can't have the old blocky catcher who can't move. You got to have an athlete back there. Good job by Lucroy. No swing. They check it out with Joe West. 2-2.
Remember, it used to be 6'3", 6'4", 225, 230.
Well, I mean, look no further than the Giant manager, who was a really good catcher in his day. Bruce Bochy, folks, a big man, and that fits with the description.
Remember Lance Parrish?
Sure, big people. I'm not saying they can't do it, but ball gets on you quicker now. There's more guys throwing 95 to 100. Wow, that's close. A little bit of a reach back, and it just was inside. Jake always takes his time, and he's going to focus in on this pitch. It's going to be his 23rd of the inning, and he needs to put this thing down right here. He knows it. You're going to get his, I would think, his best fastball. Probably what Span's thinking. 3-2. Line drive, base hit. That's going to run to the corner, and Williamson is going to score. And here come the Giants again, and Span and Panic have been unbelievable. It's 7-5 on a 2-run double by Denard Span.
Laid off a couple pitches, just Slices this one just out of the reach of a diving Arenado. 37 RBIs, and just like that, the Giants just won't go away.
You always end up saying this, it seems like. But for Jake, he's going to look back on this inning, and it's the leadoff man, Sandoval, who was 0 for 36 coming in to the at-bat, and he walked him with a 4-run lead.
Yeah, had only one hit right-handed, 1 for 23.
Paddock takes a strike. Then you get a seeing eye hit by Williamson. Span with a runner going from first. Fires one in the left field corner, and now it's a 2-run game. Now you got to grip the steering wheel a little tighter.
The last thing you want to see is Buster Posey coming to the plate.
Well, if he comes up, you're going to see Adam Ottavino in the ball game. One and one on Paddock. Whoa. 2-1. Between Span and Paddock, they're 11 for 15 in the series. A couple home runs, 5 driven in, 5 scored. And they've also walked a couple times. So they've been on base 13 times in 17 plate appearances. Buster Posey's done a little damage. Everybody else, not much. Now it's 3-1.
So out of the 27 pitches, just one more strike than ball. 14 strikes, 13 balls for Jake.
Three and two. Three-two. Back up the middle, base hit, and now it's a 1-run game. A 4-hit game for Paddock. And a tough night for Jake McGee. Buddy Black will come out. He'll get Adam Ottavino to face Buster Posey. Looked pretty comfortable about 15 minutes ago. 7-6.
Now pitching for the Rockies.
Colorado Rockies baseball on AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Say yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by the Wyoming Office of Tourism. Wyoming is full of adventure. It's time to find out if you are too. That's why travelwyoming.com. Beautiful mile-high city. Things have tightened up considerably. 3 runs here in the 8th inning for the Giants. And Buster Posey at the plate with panic at first. He's just 3 for 17 against Adam Ottavino. Doubled in a run last inning. 2 runs, I should say, last inning. That first pitch misses, ball 1.
This is the guy that Adam gets, because the next batter with Crawford, if Posey reaches, then it comes down to Mike Dunn against Brandon Crawford. It's the same spot. That's 2 spots though in a row. If you pull up the Subaru strike zone,
they're in the zone. That's where you teach guys to work.
Right. If you're going to beat me, you're going to beat him away.
Yeah.
And he puts 2 on the paint, and they're not called strikes. Instead of being 0-2, it's 2-0.
Three and 0. That's frustrating because we talk so much about the strike zone and it's difficult, but you come in and you say, all right, you got to get ahead. Well, he did. 2 quality pitches, but now it's 3-0. Get a strike there, 3-1. Still, if you're Buster Posey, you're where you want to be.
Right. Just sitting there. Well, I know where he tried to throw it. It was called ball, so his strike zone is clearly much smaller than what a normal strike zone should be. The Buster's just sitting. I'm in the catbird seat.
The 5th leading hitter in the National League at Posey. 2 for 4 tonight. Tying run at first. Interesting. I don't know if we've seen Adam Ottavino all year throw 5 straight fastballs.
And even when he was behind in the count 3-1 to come with the fastball.
We've seen him throw 5 straight sliders. Fastball's had a little more fur on it lately.
Yeah, that was 96. What does he get here? Does he go back to his comfort zone with the slider?
3-2. He did. Earlier tonight, Chatwood froze Buster in a key situation with a fastball. It almost looked like Buster was sitting on a slider.
Adam's slider is a lot different than Tyler's.
A lot more tilt, kind of slurvy. Another 3-2. The runner going. Got him to chase. Big strikeout by Ottavino, and the Rockies cling to a 1-run lead.
crowd's been awesome all year, and I think they're, you know, the noise meter, the level's going up, and hopefully it will continue to go up here in September. You know, the Rocky faithful are doing a hell of a job. So, Rocky faithful, good going. Get out there tomorrow and the rest of the month. I know the Broncos are playing, but hey, you can come to Rocky baseball too.
Well, on a school night, Tuesday night, a little cooler out, 24,245 out to watch Rockies baseball. Ian Desmond's going to lead it off, and it's Mark Melancon once again, who's been described by Bruce Bochy with the impending forearm surgery as day-to-day. Maybe he meant I'm going to use him every day.
Well, and we were correct in what we were talking about last night from Melancon. You know, some people are saying, why don't you just go ahead and have the surgery? He came out and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to go as long and as hard as I can until I can't pitch anymore this year. You know, I owe it to my teammates.
And you want to know what? Hold on one sec. That pitch looked lower than the pitches a moment ago, and Ian Desmond turned around to Andy Fletcher and said, really? Well, it did catch part of the super
but
strike
it's the same spot it was for Adam.
Yeah, that's frustrating, because these guys at this level, their eyes are impeccable, man. 1 ball, 1 strike. Desmond faced Melancon and struck out last night, yesterday afternoon. Desmond doubled in a run in the 6th and would come around to scores. The Rockies got 4 in the 6th.
All you ask as a hitter is be consistent. You know, call the strikes, whatever your strike zone is, stay with that one. Don't just have this floating zone where you start to wonder and guess.
One out. Lucroy will be next. He had a base hit to drive in a run to left in the 6th. Kobe Tomlinson stays in the ball game. He's at 3rd. Sandoval goes across the diamond. Ryder Jones is out of there. Tomlinson had pinch hit for Jones. Greg Holland getting loose in the Rockies' pen. Cutters up, ball 1. One and one.
Mike Tauchman in the on-deck circle.
I'm wondering if somewhere around the bat rack, Cargo is looming also. And if it's 2 outs and nobody on, you'll see Cargo. Holland in the 9th, Crawford a pinch hitter, and Sandoval. Base hit, center field. Lucroy's 2nd knock of the ball game.
Just like that, Tauchman was called back, and here comes Cargo.
So either way, he's going to hit. You know what? Bruce Bochy and Buddy Black are old friends, and I don't think for one moment Bochy was buying Tauchman hitting there. In fact, Tauchman now, this is strange. Tauchman will take the he'll take the batting gloves off, and he'll go from the on-deck circle to first. So he went from one end of the dugout to the other. I don't know how often I've seen that.
I'm not sure either, but as soon as he came back, then they started talking to him. And he did this last night. Remember when Jonathan walked in the 8th inning? Tauchman then pitch ran for him.
So Cargo to face Melancon. Faced him yesterday and grounded out to first.
The stopwatch out for Melanson.
Game started for the Giants with a kid from Regis Jesuit High School, Ty Block, and now here in the 8th inning, it's a kid from Golden High School, Mark Melanson. Ball 1.
1-5 to the plate.
What do we always say about closers? They tend to be easier to run on.
Yeah, because they're thinking, usually when they come in the game, there's nobody on, so they're just all focused on the hitter.
2-0 on Carlos. Cargo summed it up in the postgame yesterday. He said, I don't care what it was going to take to get that run home, a blooper, an error, a walk as it turned out to be, because that's all that mattered. We'll be selective here. 2-0. Snap throw.
Wow.
When catchers do that, especially if you have a left-handed hitter, it is almost always with a pitch down and in that kind of takes their momentum behind the hitter and allows them to fire.
That's the
cleanly.
only way they can get that throw off. Otherwise, it's too much of a hassle to try to work around the batter.
3-0. Charlie's on deck. Cargo takes 3-1.
It's almost the same approach for Cargo with this pitch. The 3-0 is a 3-1. Meaning it's got to be that center cut type of ball, something that you can drive.
He's going to get probably that cutter, you would think. This ball ripped to left center field. Topman to third. Stu Cole's going to send him. Topman's going to score. Cargo with a double. What a big run that was.
That's why you pinch run him here at Coors Field at first base.
Great move by Buddy Black. It paid off. And Cargo with a patient at bat. That was enormous. The Rockies +2 now again.
The 3-0 pitch and the 3-1 pitch were in the same spot. A little bit away from Cargo. What a gorgeous swing on the Subaru Superbo. And with Topman running on the play, this allowed him to be able to go first to home. Because if he wasn't where they cut that ball off, he wouldn't have been able to score in an all-important second run.
That's where September baseball, as much as I'm not a fan of having 38 guys sitting in the dugout, if they allow it, you got to utilize it. Buddy Black did.
Yeah, I'm with you, but that's the rules that Major League Baseball allows. So you pinch run, and we've already seen a ton of relievers tonight.
Yep. Charlie 0 for 4, which almost never happens, as you're aware.
And the other thing, too, that we kind of got lost in all of that was Cargo being in scoring position at second base. He was hustling around to get over there, too.
Kind of quietly, Cargo's hit close to 280 in the second half. It's not phenomenal. Obviously, you haven't seen the power numbers. But it's been decidedly better than what he went through in the first half. And here in September so far, he's off to a really nice start to the month. There's been some big hits.
I see there's some of the RBIs here in the second half.
A double, by the way, came off his bat at 105 miles an hour. That was smoked. 0-2 on Charlie. Two outs. Cargo to third. And the always reliable DJ LeMahieu coming up.
DJ with that hit, riding a 13-game hit streak.
1 for 3 and a walk, scored 2 runs tonight.
Ow.
Buster's had a rough week.
Yeah.
He had that left thumb jammed. Missed a couple days.
Is that a finger?
It's on his throwing hand. He's coming out. There wasn't really much of an examination.
No.
Guess Nick Hundley, you would think, get the equipment on and come into the ball game.
See. Oh. Ow.
A lot of catchers don't put that right hand behind their thigh because it's unlikely they get hit. Usually the glove is going to protect the throwing hand.
Especially with the runner on base too. You got to be ready for that if you're going to make a throw.
I just hope he didn't break his finger.
No, that's what you're concerned about. Maybe it's Tim Fedorovich. That's who it is.
Nick Hundley.
Now catching for the Giants, number 43,
Fedorovich behind the plate. Carr goes at third, 2 outs, and a 1-strike count on LeMahieu.
Long conference with, you don't have to worry about what sign you're going to go with. The runner at third.
Here's the 0-1. Base hit to right field. This one's going to run to deep right. DJ is going to try to turn it into a double, and he will. And the Rockies have a 3-run lead again. 2-out rallies tonight. We saw it in the 6th and here in the 8th. 9-6 Colorado. And that'll be all for Mark Melanson.
DJ with his patented Oppo hit. And also his 58th RBI of the year. Get that lead back up to 3 again.
144 ribbies between Charlie Blackmon and DJ LeMahieu, the top 2 in the lineup. Amazing. That was huge. Cargo, so far in September, Huey,
Yeah.
he's 4 for 10, 4 doubles, 4 RBIs, and some big hits. And of course, we had the walk-off walk yesterday, but the double to score Tachman was enormous. And then, of course, DJ coming through a couple of minutes later. And now the Rockies have a 3-run lead for Greg Holland. Kyle Crick is now in.
For Kyle, the ERA out on the road, 409. 96 miles an hour is what he averages on his fastball. Of course, he comes out with the first pitch slider.
0-1 on Nolan. 15 pitchers between the two clubs tonight. Rockies have used 8. They knew they were going to use plenty with this being kind of a bullpen day. Tyler Chatwood getting his first start in more than a month, went 3 innings. 0-2.
So already looking at it tomorrow, you know that Chris Russin's going to be down, Antonio Sensatella will be down, and Jake McGee will be down. But you still got a lot of reinforcements out there.
This ball hammered to right center field, but playable. And that'll be all, but the Rockies with 2 clutch 2-out runs. They need 3 outs to shake hands. Up 9-6 on the Giants on a Tuesday night in Lodo.
Eight innings, and they lead at 9-6 as we go to the 9th and get you ready for the Toyota postgame show. Mark Stout, Corey Sullivan, everybody chipping in tonight with some runs.
Yeah, but the meat of the order really did most of the damage. We're talking about guys 2 through 5, 8 for 15, 5 RBI. We've also talked a lot about runners in scoring position. 5 for 11 today. They also had 5 2-out RBIs at this point. Phenomenal job by the offense. That hard work's been paying off, and that good approach as well.
Buddy has talked to about stringing together hits, and they did that in some of their big innings to get runs.
Yeah, they definitely did, especially in the 6th inning where they were able to get 4. That was a really important inning. They only had 2 hits to that point. Great job offense.
All right, Drew Huey, 9th pitcher of the night now for the Rocks coming on.
Yeah, I can't even count anymore.
Yeah, it's 9th.
9.
Yeah, you're correct. Or wise one.
Greg Holland throwing to Tony Walters here in the 9th, and Brandon Crawford will lead it off for San Francisco.
Crawford 0 for 5 career against Greg.
Greg looking for his 37th save of the year. He's got a first pitch strike. Went off speed. 0-1 on Crawford. RBI single in the 5th, 1 for 3. He walked as well in the 3rd inning. Looks like Nick Hundley on deck in the pitcher spot, 1-1. Rockies got a run in the first, sac fly by Parr, and then Block kind of shut him down until Story hit a home run in the fourth. But even at that point, that was just the Rockies' second hit. But the last few innings, they've done damage. 4 in the 6th, run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. And as Sully said, many of those runs with 2 outs.
5 of them.
94, but off the plate. 2-2 on Crawford. Kyle Freeland goes for the Rockies tomorrow against Johnny Cueto. On the ground to third, Nolan. 1 out.
Greg, too, his last 3 appearances that he's been pretty efficient with. 13 pitches thrown in the appearance in the inning against Detroit, 12 against Arizona 2 days ago, and then yesterday just 9 pitches. And how about his defense yesterday? Heads up from your backside. This is a just an ouch. First of all,
that was well over 100 miles an hour off the bat. Nick Hundley at the plate. Nick takes ball 1. My guess is it'll be Nick or Tim Fedorovich tomorrow behind the plate. Buster Posey having to leave last inning, getting hit by a foul tip on his throwing hand.
Nick 0 for 4 career facing Greg.
Rockies up 9-6, and the 2-0 is down the middle. Here's the 2-1.
Make him earn it, Greg.
This ball's well hit to center field. At the base of the wall, Charlie tucks it away. So Hundley is out, number 2. 1 out to go in the 9th.
Right off the bat, that kind of that loud sound.
And he hit it on the screws.
Yeah, he hit it 414 feet. That's where Charlie caught that ball.
Pablo Sandoval 0 for 3 and a walk, and a curveball for a strike. First Collins thrown tonight. And now it's a 2-strike count. Sandoval.
go slider here.
Walters waiting.
They're going with.
Side. Here's the 0-2. Fly ball to Desmond, and he's got it. And the Rockies have defeated the Giants once again. A final score 9-6, a 1-2-3 ninth for Holland, his 37th save of the year. Chris Russin gets credit for the victory. We believe it's not official yet. Ty Block will take the loss. He'll fall to 8-12. The Rockies now 2.5 games above Milwaukee, who lost earlier today. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. The Rockies' 6th inning, 5 hits, 4 runs. We threw out 3 doubles in the inning. Most of that offense came with 2 outs. The Desmond double, the base hit there by Lucroy. Good night for the Rockies as they have now won 2 straight, unbeaten at home this year against the Giants. Plenty to talk about on the Toyota postgame show. Here's Mark and Sully, fellas.
All right, thank you, Drew. And the Rocks go 10 games over 500. They get their 24th series win.
9th straight win against San Francisco. That's a record against any one opponent. We've talked a lot about how important cargo is. Another huge at bat tonight. We'll show you it on the postgame show.